Hello, cookbook friends. My name is Carrie, and I'm here with my co-host Katie, and we are Cookbook Divas. Welcome to our Cookbook Divas episode about beach house cookbooks.
Now that it's finally summer, we thought it would be fun to look through beach house cookbooks. For those of you lucky enough to own a beach house, or for those of you who might be visiting friends and family at a beach house this summer, we want to explore cookbooks to help you prepare fabulous feasts for summertime. So, Carrie, start us off with your first beachy cookbook find.
Well, I'm finding it interesting because all of my friends have lake houses, not beach houses.
Yeah.
And the beach house cookbooks seem to be heavily more cocktail involved than lake house cookbooks, which is weird because when I'm at a lake house, I'm still drinking cocktails, but...
Right. Yeah, I guess because you're not surrounded by woods, I don't know. People like to hang out at the beach and drink, so
yeah. So the first book I wanted to mention is Beach Cocktails, 75 Drinks, Tiki Cocktails, and Snacks to Savor at the Beach or Anywhere by Douglas Shaw. It came out in 2017, and he writes that there's only a few things in life better than an ice-cold cocktail on a hot day. True!
Mm-hmm.
Very true. I'm going to peek inside and find out what is going on. The table of contents starts off with classic tiki drinks like Mai Tais, fog cutters, rum swizzle, something called a painkiller. Maybe that's what you drink in the next morning.
Exactly.
And the drink that I'm intrigued to find out what's in it called the Ancient Mariner.
Ooh.
And then the next chapter is rum drinks like a cranberry zombie, pina colada, not my personal favorite because of the coconut?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mojito, a dirty banana. Ooh, never heard of that. Then the vodka chapter has drinks like obviously the Bloody Mary, blah, blah, blah. A vodka Collins, something called a Chi-Chi, and something called a Rosemary Baby.
Oh my goodness. That's funny.
The tequila chapter has All the King's Men, a cinnamon tamarind margarita that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
A drink called a Mexican Vampires.
Oh my goodness.
Oddly specific.
This feels Halloween-y, like a Halloween beach party.
That would be fun. The gin chapter has a Honolulu gin cocktail, and then something called an obituary cocktail.
Oh my god, there's so much death.
A London fog cocktail, and something called a bloodhound.
Oh.
And then there's whiskey with an evening shade, a scarlet starlet, a Bordeaux sour, I'm very curious about that, something called the Good Doctor, and a cranberry apple. And then they very kindly included mocktails, Millionaire Sour, Roy Rogers, Sangria. Sangria without alcohol? I'm suspicious.
Me too.
And then towards the end, bar snacks like roasted chickpeas, Nutella brownies, pineapple ice, and spicy popcorn. That looks cool. That's Beach Cocktails, 75 Drinks, Tiki Cocktails, and Snacks to Savor on the Beach or Anywhere by Douglas Shaw.
I also have a cocktail cookbook. It is called Beach Cocktails, Favorite Surfside Sips and Bar Snacks. It's by the editors of Coastal Magazine, it looks like.
Coastal Living.
Coastal Living.
My favorite magazine to just flip through and go, oh.
Beautiful. I have not had the luxury of doing that yet. What they've done is they've created a exclusively beach cocktail compilation in this particular cocktail book. They have a whole bunch of other cookbooks and whatnot, but this one is beach cocktails strictly. It is a fun cookbook. I really like the cover. I kind of love how it's got a watercolor-like painting on it with a beautiful pink cocktail on it. The inside is super fun. Everything's super vibrant. It's all photos. Very interesting and fun cookbook. As far as like photography and art style and design go, in my opinion. Let's see if I can figure out how many recipes there are. The first chapter is In the Mix. We have Tiki Bar Classics, High Spirits, Happy Hour, Foam and Froth. Then we have Warm Sips, which I appreciate because, as we know, on the beach, it starts to cool down and you don't want to stop drinking necessarily. So something warm for nighttime is really good. Then they've also provided a mocktail section too, but they've also included smoothies and shakes. And then the final chapter is bar snacks. The pictures are scattered throughout the cookbook, so it's not like here's a beverage and a photo alongside with it. They list a whole set of usually cocktail recipes on one page, and they might have, you know, a whole scene of cocktails or shakers and fruit. At least for me, I really like the side-by-side cocktail and recipe thing, but you don't necessarily get that with this book, which is fine. It's still very beautiful. And there's a lot of really easy recipes in here too. So I think that's why they did it. You don't want to waste a whole page if something only has 2 ingredients and then you have like a picture next to it.
True.
So let's see if I can pull up some of these recipes. They have some of the classics like the pina colada, margarita, and whatnot. But they've done a cool thing here where you can make your own syrups and your own sweet and sour mixes, or just mixes in general to prep for everything. There's strawberry syrup, a cucumber simple syrup, which is really helpful, a jalapeno honey syrup.
Ooh.
A lot of really cool things in this book as far as like making your own cocktails. So that is Beach Cocktails, Favorite Surfside Sips and Bar Snacks.
Let's move on to proper cookbooks now, and I'll start us off with the Beach House Cookbook by Mary Kay Andrews. I really love the cover. There's a nice looking lady standing over a beautiful table holding a salad waiting to serve me. The subtitle is Easy Breezy Recipes with a Southern Accent. And I never think of the southern beaches. Whenever I think of the beach, I think of California because I'm a West Coaster.
Yep.
But there's lots and lots of beaches in this country. She has some themed meals like an early spring dinner with cherry balsamic glazed pork medallions and bacon-kissed Brussels sprouts. She has a 4th of July menu with buttermilk brine fried chicken, potato salad, and pudding parfaits. A New Year's Day open house menu with roast oysters, home-cured gravlax? Gravlax? I don't know what that is.
I've not heard of that either.
I'm a vegetarian. I don't know that. This sounds good. Grits and greens casserole. That could go very, very wrong and be gross, but I love grits and greens, so I would make that.
I would too.
And of course, she has a lemon cream cheese pound cake recipe.
Yeah.
And I'm going to peek inside the table of contents and, ooh. Oh yes, a summer solstice dinner, a low country boil, lazy weekend brunch, a beach picnic, book bash cocktail party. Ooh, I love book cocktail parties. A beach after a day at the beach, catch of the day, full moon party. This sounds so fun. Game day dinner, super supper, Thanksgiving at the beach, Christmas brunch. Oh my gosh, I love it. That is the Beach House Cookbook by Mary Kay Andrews from 2017.
The next cookbook is the Beach House Cookbook. It came out in April 7th, 2005. It's by Barbara Scott-Goodman and Rita Maas. This one's a little more straightforward than the other one. I like the previous cookbook a lot because of the themes and, having activities and whatnot. This one's a little more like, here's your breakfast, dinner, appetizers, and a whole list. So in the table of contents right there, and I personally like this, they have for instance, appetizers and finger foods. Then they list off the pages and then the recipes you will find. So some examples are shrimp fritters with ginger soy dipping sauce, a spicy clam dip, handmade pita chips. I'm not seeing a whole lot of photos in this particular cookbook.
Oh, we like photos around here.
I know, we're obsessed. But that's okay. I think the recipes are fairly straightforward and easy. And I know on the beach, it's kind of important. Most of us want to go out on the beach and we don't want to be hanging out in the kitchen all day. We want to actually do some fun stuff. So a lot of these recipes are very fish oriented, as you probably would with a beach house. But I can see us doing more than just fish oriented dishes. So they also provide drinks in here. So like a Campari and blood orange juice cocktail or iced mint tea. There's also desserts listed in here, salads and sides, and soups and sandwiches. Kind of fun, super easy, pretty straightforward. That's the Beach House Cookbook by Barbara Scott-Goodman and Rita Maas.
Next up, I have the Coastal Living Cookbook, the ultimate recipe collection for people who love the coast, by Coastal Living Magazine, my favorite magazine. They offer a dozen casual entertaining menus, which is perfect because all I do is casual entertaining.
Yeah. Yes.
They highlight fresh seafood from the Pacific, Atlantic, and Gulf coasts. And the menus offer wine pairings as well as relaxed party advice from top chefs and home cooks alike.
Ooh.
They include a California Salmon Fest, a taste of the Gulf Coast, Low Country Legacy, and a Nantucket Beach Party. They have 500 recipes,
Oh, wow.
including garden fresh salads, sizzling appetizers, desserts, fish dips, crab cakes, potato salads, ice creams, etc., etc. It's basically a seafood primer and A to Z dictionary of popular fish and shellfish, which means I probably won't buy it because I do not eat any fish and I don't really want to look at paid pictures of them. But it's a 400-page book, and they also have lots of beautiful beach photography and waterfront food. So basically, this would be a huge compendium. If should you be so lucky as to suddenly buy a beach house, you should probably have this on the coffee table. It's the Coastal Living Cookbook by Coastal Living Magazine from 2004.
You'd probably like this next one. It's Beach House Brunch, 100 delicious ways to start your long summer days. It came out June 21st, 2016. It's by Lee Shishak and Chow Vong. Okay, so now we've got awesome photos. I was like, yay, there's so many beautiful photos in here. They're super awesome. And it does kind of look like brunch. We only gone to lake houses, but there's like this light when you walk into a lake house, like when you wake up in the morning and you walk into the kitchen for breakfast, there's like this little light. It's very special to me. I don't know how to describe it, but the food lighting in here reminds me of that because it's really bright and the shadows are very dark, so it seems like, oh, it's a really awesome summer day. So brunch is probably my favorite part of the day because it's the way you start and then you're outside all day.
And you have time to make it because at home, even on a weekend, we're rushing around to see our friends or doing this and that. But at a beach house, or in my case, a lake house, where we have time to make brunch and cook with your friends.
Exactly. And it's fun, too, because the sun's up and it's just, everybody's kind of up because the sun's forcing you to be up and whatnot. So some of the recipes you'll find in here are Morning Glory muffins. We also have a pecan sweetbread. That sounds interesting, but the photo association is it's got a jar of, it looks like a beet Bloody Mary. That's kind of what it looks like side by side with this pecan sweetbread. We also have a cinnamon raisin toast. That would be really good. And that would be really awesome to prep beforehand. And then you just bring it with you to the beach or lake. We also have Bananas Foster pancakes, which of course are super good. Super delicious. So these are, they're friendly for meat eaters, vegan, vegetarian, even gluten-free. You can kind of make these dishes into all the things that you actually need. And again, I personally think brunch is like the best time in the summer on the beach. It's how you get started. So that's Beach House Brunch, 100 Delicious Ways to Start Your Long Summer Days by Lee Shishak.
Well, Lee Shishak loves to write books about the beach because my next cookbook is also by her.
Ooh.
And it's Beach House Dinners. Simple, summer-inspired meals for entertaining year-round. Let's see what is in here. She says that dinner is the most home-cooked meal of the day. True.
Yes, definitely.
But I haven't done a lot of dinner cooking at the lake house because we all go out to dinner at the fabulous recipes nearby.
Yep. Yeah.
She's starting off beach house with the gadgets that you'll need, what you should have in the pantry. I don't think a lot of people keep a fully stocked pantry in a beach house, to be honest.
I agree. Yeah, it seems like, especially if you're not going, or if you don't live on your beach house, I would say.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, if it's just a vacation house.
Yeah.
This is her fourth book, apparently.
Wow.
And she includes 80 recipes that she makes at her own beach house in Southern California. And I can't see the table of contents. Oh, here it is. She offers recipes for summer tomato soup with 3 cheese panini, coconut shrimp with 3 sauces, roasted whole sea bass, lemon garlic chicken, hearts of palm salad, jerk spare ribs, salmon burger, lobster roll, and more. And that all sounds very approachable. It sounds like stuff we all make in the summertime. So I think your next book is also by Lee Shishak. This was Beach House Dinners. What are you going to talk about?
Beach House Baking! An endless summer of delicious dessert, Desserts. This came out in 2017. This is a very interesting cookbook because I don't think it is exclusively baking, but it's heavy baking. So some of the chapters that we have in here are morning treats, beachy beverages, which is not baking, but I guess mixing is baking. It's science. It's all science. We have cupcakes. Then we have happy hour cupcakes. So
I love it. This is my kind of book.
Boozy cupcakes. We have cookies and brownies, handcrafted ice cream sandwiches, yum, frozen pops, pies, crisps, and cobblers, and a cheesecake. Wow, that's a big chapter. There's classics, and then she provides some bonus recipes in here as well. I'm not seeing a number on how many recipes there are, but some of the desserts and bakes that she provides are Cocoa Island Maldives cookies, Red Velvet Riviera cupcakes. I love red velvet. I don't think it can.
Oh, yeah.
There's Pina Colada Highway cup tails. What's a cup tail? I've never heard of a cup tail.
Me either.
Interesting. We also have a Malibu Shimmer ice cream sandwich. Oh, that would be super fun for the kids. I can already tell. Like, that would be super awesome. I think baking beach house, that works. I wouldn't necessarily bake at the beach house. I'd probably bake before the beach house and then bring all my bakes to the beach house.
Yeah, because you're too busy going to the beach to be cooking. And when you get back all hot and sweaty and sandy, you're not going to go bake. You're going to take a shower, grab a cocktail, and sit on the deck.
Exactly. So I would definitely have this at home so you can bake everything at home and then be able to bring it to the beach house. Because, like, for instance, even the ice cream sandwiches, you can bring all the little sandwich parts and then just buy some ice cream and make a really awesome sandwich. So, yeah, I think it's a fun little cookbook. It's Beach House Baking: An Endless Summer of Delicious Desserts by Lee Shishak.
Now, I noticed that you had a Williams-Sonoma cookbook on your list. I love Williams-Sonoma cookbooks, and I'm scared to start a collection because it's going to take up so much room on my bookshelf because they're all good and they have great photos and there's so many of them.
There are, and I do appreciate that Williams-Sonoma usually posts at least their newer recipes on their website too. So that's pretty nice. So you don't have to.
You can leech it for free.
Exactly. I love leeching things for free.
But it's dangerous to look at their website because I might see a pan that I want and don't need, and then I might buy it.
It's so true. This book is Beach House Cooking: Good Food for the Outdoors. It's a Williams-Sonoma book. It came out in 1999, so a bit ago. It's not a very long book. It's only 108 pages, which I was a little surprised about. I'm not seeing a whole lot for this. I'm not even seeing how many recipes in here, but some of they do provide recipes for breakfast, brunch, soups, salads, appetizers, main dishes, and desserts. It's pretty cut and dry, clear and concise. So if you love Williams-Sonoma like Carrie does, I like Williams-Sonoma too. They've got some amazing recipes, sauces, and obviously kitchenware. You might want to check out its Beach House Cooking: Good Food for the Great Outdoors. It's a Williams-Sonoma book.
Next up, I have the Nantucket Open House Cookbook by Sarah Lee Chase from way back in 1987.
Whoa! Didn't you... Wasn't this like 5 years ago that you rented a beach house or something like on Cape Cod?
Yes, it was a bucket list dream that I had. I just wanted to rent a house on Cape Cod for some reason. I had this, I didn't know much about it.
No, that's
awesome. And so luckily I have friends in Boston.
Yeah.
And so I flew to Boston with my little suitcase, and then they drove me in their car because Cape Cod is a couple good hours from Boston. And we did sightseeing along the way, and then we had this beautiful waterfront rental house. And I had all these dreams of cooking up big meals in their kitchen, but the nearest store had very limited, there wasn't a grocery store anywhere around where we were.
Oh.
So we would get stuff at the market, but and then her kids were kind of picky eaters, so mostly we just went out for pizza a lot. That was kind of disappointing. But my friend, who I love dearly, she just never has cooked with her boys at all.
Oh.
And so I was like, what? So we made, with her oldest, who was maybe 12 at the time, we spent about an hour and a half in the kitchen making an apple pie from scratch.
Aww.
And of course, whatever apples were available at the store weren't really the right kind for pie, but we bought them anyway. It was fine. and we made the dough. And then the little brother wanted to cook too, and we're only at this house for 5 days. I didn't want to stock a whole bunch of ingredients. So all we did was get like a Betty Crocker peanut butter cookie bag and open it and add an egg and a little bit of oil and stir it. But he still was like, that was great. We
totally.
baked.
That's awesome. I think that's awesome.
Then my friend felt bad that she hadn't cooked with them at all.
Jeez. When you were touring around, did you ever go to Nantucket?
No, you basically have to fly there or go on a ferry or a boat or something. We were too busy just hanging out on the beach.
And cooking.
But I love, baking a tiny bit. Going out for pizza. But I always think of Nantucket because of the TV show Wings that sit there, and it's very unrealistic because it's not what it's actually like to live there. But,
yeah.
So I'm curious to look through the Nantucket Open House Cookbook by Sarah Lee Chase. I think I might grab a copy from the library just to check it out.
Yeah.
The chapters include appetizers and favorite nibbling foods, sunny sauces, sips, and skinny dips, soup sorcery.
Ooh.
Summer savories, Nantucket farm vegetables, open house salads, salad stars, eclectic dinner fare, private grilling, as opposed to public grilling. Okay. Sweet splurges, cottage comforts, Thanksgiving by the sea, and a Christmas stroll. That just sounds pleasant.
Yes,
that's the Nantucket Open House Cookbook. What's next for you?
Margaritaville, the cookbook.
Jimmy Buffett. Sorry.
It is Relaxed Recipes for a Taste of Paradise. It came out May 1st, 2018. It's by Carlo Cernalgia and Julia Turshen. Julia Turshen! I didn't know she did this. That's so cool. Okay. Apparently this was the first ever cookbook that features a lot of Margaritaville's favorites. I had no idea. I would think there would be more, like a whole bunch more.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, so they have a bunch of pictures in here. So cool. Some of the chapters that are featured in here are salads and soups, as we see, starters. We have burgers, sandwiches, and hot dogs. I have not seen a hot dog section in any cookbook I've looked through in a very long time. We also have main dishes in here. There's breakfast options as well. There's gotta be cocktails and desserts. I would be surprised if there wasn't. So some of the recipes in here that I'm already drooling over, so I'm going to try not to slur a little. We have volcano nachos. Oh, those look amazing. Super easy to make, and it serves like 6 people. They're huge. There's a cheeseburgers in paradise with Paradise Island dressing. Ooh. This looks so good. There's an avocado and papaya salad with spicy lime dressing for those that aren't super crazy meat eaters. Let's see, what else do we have? There are desserts. They feature a classic key lime pie, of course, and it looks gorgeous. This is a super summery, amazing cookbook. And they do have drinks. They have a frozen Paradise Paloma with a massive slice of watermelon in there. It just looks so, so good.
That would be refreshing because you could eat the fruit later.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It looks so... This is a really fun cookbook. I have not done the Margaritaville thing because, I'm sorry, I'm not a huge Jimmy Buffett fan.
Well, it's because you're not old.
But after looking through this cookbook, it does look fun. If they have food like that, then, why not, right? So, anyway, this is a fun cookbook if you're really into that kind of thing. It's Margaritaville, the cookbook, relaxed recipes for a taste of paradise.
Next up, I have the Summertime Anytime Cookbook, Recipes from Shutters on the Beach, which is a restaurant in Santa Monica. It's by Dana Slatkin. It came out in 2008. And everybody who is in California near Santa Monica knows what Shutters on the Beach is. It doesn't mean that any of us have been there. It's a little expensive. It's a luxury seaside resort. But I like hotel cookbooks because hotels have to be on the top of their game because you're not just there to sleep. You're there to eat and vacation.
Oh, goodness, yeah.
The chapters are sunny days, cloudy days, balmy nights, stormy nights, misty mornings, and beach basics. And some of the recipes are plum tomato soup with baby grilled cheese sandwiches,
Whoa.
Dungeness crab cakes with avocado tartar sauce, bullseye eggs, I don't even want to know, and yogurt mousse with honey poached apricots.
Yum.
Yum. And she also includes recipes for fresh picnic fare, simple sauces, and desserts. She has a little chapter called 5 Wonderful Ways to Spend a Cloudy Day at the Beach, How to Make the Perfect Smoothie, and 6 Uses for a Bucket of Sand. So that is the Summertime Anytime Cookbook Recipes from Shutters on the Beach by Dana Slatkin.
I'm really excited about this next cookbook. It's called Surfside Eating, Relaxed Recipes Inspired by Coastal Living. This is a Ryland Peters and Small book. This came out July 28th, 2020. It's sad that it came out last year, but now we can enjoy it this year because It is so cool. I love that they feature the photos in here have surfing, pictures of the beach, just people enjoying themselves on the water, alongside with beautiful table sets with awesome meals on top for all times of the day too, which is fun. They even have like little road tripping car, like the little tiny hippie vans with it's just a cute cookbook. The photography is adorable. I love it. Some of the chapters that they feature in here are Rise and Shine, yay breakfast. They have veggies, salads, and sides, all day dining, beachside barbecue, sunset suppers, desserts, and drinks. I really like this whole, it's just really super self-explanatory, so it's really easy to navigate. One of the pages that they have is they have like a porridge. They call it a grainy porridge, but they also have a recipe above that has a whipped honey vanilla butter, which you could put in your porridge. They also have a thing called glow balls. It doesn't sound like the best, but when you read through it, it's basically Brazil nuts that are, seasoned in wonderful, awesome things like cinnamon and cardamom and vanilla and all kinds of stuff. So it doesn't sound amazing when you see glow balls. And the photo that is associated with it, it's a whole table set. So you've got like the porridge there with everything in it, but then there's like a plate with all the glow balls on there. They also have, I should stop saying glow balls. They also have the whipped honey vanilla butter as well, just kind of on the side. So you get to see, I guess you get to see the recipe in action, if that makes sense. And you can kind of visualize that on your table. You're like, I want to do grainy porridge too. Or it doesn't even have to be porridge. It could be oatmeal or something. What else do we have in here? There, of course, are maple and bacon pancakes. They have banana bread. They have Mexican grilled corn, which is be super awesome. Like beachside barbecue Mexican grilled corn is so good. This is just a really cool cookbook for just going to the beach for a day or being at your beach house. It's a fun, awesome summery cookbook. I super recommend it. Super fun. It's Surfside Eating, Relaxed Recipes Inspired by Coastal Living by Ryland Peters and Small.
Before I launch into the next of my 3 cookbooks for the rest of this episode, I wanted to beg you guys to take a minute to review us on Apple Podcasts. If you listen over there, we'd love to hear your feedback. And we've only had 2 reviews so far. Hey, we'd like to hear from you.
Yeah.
So, moving on. My next cookbook is Eventide, Recipes for Clam Bakes, Oysters, Lobster Rolls, and more from a modern Maine seafood shack. It's by Arlen Smith, Andrew Taylor, Mike Wiley, and Sam Hiersteiner from 2020. I've never been to Maine, and as a vegetarian, I'm never going to attend a clam bake, oyster, lobster, blah, but I'm sure a lot of you would be dying, and it's people's bucket list to go to Maine and eat from a seafood shack. I'm sure it sounds awesome.
Yeah, it does.
So Eventide is the name of the shack. And let's check out the table of contents. The Rock, Eventide's Raw Bar program. New England Sushi is Chapter 2, their Crudo program. Chapter 3, The Ultimate Clam Bake. Chapter 4, Modern Shack Fare. Chapter 5, Basics. Then Desserts, and then Cocktails. Here's some of the recipes. Oysters with kimchi ice.
Yum.
Tuna tartare with ramen crackers, family-style Maine clam bake, tempura smelts with spicy tzatziki,
Ooh.
New England clam chowder with homemade saltines. Okay, I don't have time to sit around making saltines when I could buy them. Sorry, I'm out. Smoked shellfish and honey roasted peanut butter ice cream sandwiches. That is Eventide, Recipes for Clam Bakes, etc., by Arlen Smith. Came out in June 2020.
I want to quickly go through Retro Beach Bash, a Sun Lover's Guide to Food and Fun. This is by Linda Everett. It came out March 10, 2003. So the cover of this is super retro. Like, if you love retro anything, this is definitely...
I do!
This is a Carrie cookbook for sure. This is really fun. So everything is filled with these awesome 1950s graphics that just showcase, beach fun. And I really enjoy that. It's just a fun, interesting cookbook. We also have in here, it's got more than 125 recipes for beachgoers of all ages. So you'll see, those clam bakes that you were talking about, they have a Corona del Mar clam bake in theirs. They also have a Kona burger. They do grilled fruit. And then they also have another interesting recipe in here called a beach bunny cake. There's no pictures that I can find, but all of these sound fun. Like, I don't know what a beach bunny cake is, but now I'm super curious. There's also recipes for cocktails. So we have a Balboa Island Offshore Breeze, which is all like this peachy, quencher, delicious, awesome thing that I know my mother would enjoy. There is also, they call it Crab Fest Coolers. So I'm wondering what that means. I wouldn't put like a crab and cooler, but I know that that's not what that means. I'm sure it's super delicious. They have not just recipes in here. There are fun games that you could find in this cookbook or tips for having a really awesome beach day. It's just a really adorable cookbook that if you love retro stuff, this is just something that would just be really fun. A coffee table book even. I enjoy it. It's Retro Beach Bash, a Sun Lover's Guide to Food and Fun by Linda Everett.
My next cookbook takes us back to Cape Cod, which I apparently am obsessed with.
Yep.
It's the Provincetown Seafood Cookbook by Howard Mitchum. Anthony Bourdain wrote the introduction. It came out in 2018. And when I was in Cape Cod, we just didn't quite have all the time to take a ferry over to Provincetown, and I really wanted to explore it. So, bucket list number 2. I'll do it some other time.
Yay!
Supposedly, he is Provincetown's best known and most admired chef. He writes about the Provincetown fishing fleet, the adventures of the fish and shellfish that roam Cape Cod waters, and the people. And here are some of the recipes: Cape Cod gumbo, Provincetown paella, Portuguese clam chowder, lobster fra diavolo, zarzuela, which I'm not sure what it is, and lots of Portuguese, Creole, and Cape Cod favorites. And they include a list of fresh and frozen seafood substitutes in case you're anywhere else in the country and you can't get fresh. And I'm going to peek at the table of contents. Chapter 1, shellfish. Chapter 2, crustaceans. Chapter 3, the beautiful soups and stews. Chapter 4, some seafood symphonies. And Chapter 5, the fishes. That is the Provincetown Seafood Cookbook by Howard Mitchum.
My final cookbook is the Jersey Shore Cookbook, Fresh Summer Flavors from the Boardwalk and Beyond. This came out April 12th, 2016. It's by Deborah Smith. And I'll just read what the publisher has to say. Coastal cuisine from Ashbury Park to Cape May, with 50 recipes from your favorite beachside restaurants and farm fresh New Jersey ingredients for a perfect taste of summer. Let me peek at the table of contents to see what exactly we're looking at here. It's divided up into breakfasts, starters and sides, soup and salads, main course, desserts. I like this cookbook because it features all of these awesome recipes, but it tells you exactly where it comes from, like which restaurant or which place this all comes from. So, for instance, like the roasted tomato and basil soup, It's from Ashbury Park, so we get the actual region where it's from and the restaurant. It looks like it's Laguna Lounge or Lagunta Lounge. There's a watermelon, spinach, and brandied pecan salad. Ooh, this is from Waypoint 622. So I like that they've been able to do that. So it gives credit to the people that actually created these recipes. They're authentic because they are from all of these restaurants and these super awesome places and where you can go find them. So it's a great touristy book. If you've gone to the Jersey Shore before and you miss some of those foods, you can recreate them at home. That's kind of fun to me. And the pictures in here are super cool because it features all the food, but it also showcases, what Jersey Shore looks like. It's definitely not what I imagined growing up with actual Jersey Shore, which was not
the
my
TV
favorite
show, you mean?
Yeah, which was not my favorite show.
You watched it anyway.
Well, I didn't. It was my sister, I promise. It was just there, I swear. So, yeah, it's just really cool because at least it's opened my mind to different places. And now maybe I would actually go to New Jersey to try some food. So that is the Jersey Shore Cookbook, Fresh Summer Flavors from the Boardwalk and Beyond by Deborah Smith.
My final cookbook is near and dear to my heart, although I've never looked through it.
Oh.
It's the Hotel del Coronado Cookbook.
Ooh.
The Hotel del Coronado Cookbook the Hotel del Coronado is a historic hotel in San Diego, where I grew up. And once in a while for Christmas, my grandparents, who are Katie's great aunt and great uncle, would fly down and have a fabulous fancy Christmas dinner with us at the hotel. And that can't have been inexpensive. And I'll never forget the crazy buffets of just towers and towers and towers of desserts. And I don't remember the other food because I was there for the dessert. So I probably am going to buy the Hotel del Coronado Cookbook, even though it's from 1993. And back then, not having looked through it, I'm fairly certain the food photography is hideous.
Or drawn.
Yes, it could be illustrations. But I would be delighted to know what in 1993 they claimed they were serving in the restaurant. I think I have to do it. Their Sunday brunch is definitely memorable.
Yeah.
And they also include wedding reception menus, holiday specials, choice dishes of various celebrities that have stayed there, including the Prince of Wales, and the centennial menu from the hotel's $1 Million Birthday Bash. That's the Hotel del Coronado Cookbook by Beverly Bass from 1993.
And that is a wrap for our Beach House Cookbook episode. Thank you so much for listening, and make sure to subscribe. Stay tuned on Tuesdays and Fridays for more podcast episodes. And for more cookbook content, make sure to check out our Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube at Cookbook Divas. Carrie does some really awesome things on there. We also have a blog at cookbookdivas.com for more cookbooks that we might have missed or that we find super interesting or we quadruple cover because they're just so awesome. Happy summer and see you on the beach.